Get ready for the dictation. Start. Sir, I would first like to compliment the Honorable the Minister for Transport on having achieved what many of us considered to be impossible of achievement, namely the earning of profits by at least 6 corporations out of all the transport corporation in Tamil Nadu. There is no doubt that it is an account of the increase in fares that was made 3 years ago. I wish to say that I welcome this bill. The other thing that I would like to say is this. The government have also adopted the policy of never reducing prices to never reducing fares when a huge profit is anticipated. When the profit are huge, the consumers naturally expect why some amount of reduction in fares, at least in the case of certain routes, could not be given. This is only natural when the government are going to get a profit of more than 10 to 15% of the capital investment. This is one thing which should be considered by the government. Sir, a second question also arises. We see that out of all the transport corporations, we are losing only in the metropolitan service and in the express bus service. What does this indicate? It means that in all that rural services, our fare structure is such that there is great scope for these corporations to make adequate profits. We know that this government want to help the rural areas so that they may well consider why the rural sector should finance the metropolitan sector in so far as transport is concerned. When I say this, I am not suggesting to the Honorable Minister to increase the cost of metropolitan transport. On the other hand, I only request him to see whether it is possible in any way to amalgamate one at least of the rural corporations with the metropolitan service. In that way, it may be possible to set off the profits of that sector against the losses of the metropolitan sector, so that as a whole these corporations may at least sail in the same boat. Sir, the other point which I wish to make is this. If we want to have profits, then I think that some efforts should be made to improve the amenities in our bus depots and in the transport depots owned by the corporation. I am sorry to say that at least facilities are lagging very much in those places. I think that ordinary amenities like toilets, washrooms and restrooms which are provided in every bus transport abroad should be provided in all the buses depots owned by the corporation. Particularly in district towns, I may point out that there is heavy passenger traffic, but the amenities are so poor that the passengers are put to difficulty. In many places, I have seen that the passengers laying on the floor of the transport bus shelters for hours together, and they do not have the elementary facilities of drinking water or washing water or even toilet facilities. I would request the Honorable Minister to see that in having these toilets and washrooms, even a 10 paisa slot machine is provided so that we may charge some amount for using these facilities. I would like to point out that we may even ensure that employment is provided to persons in charge of these toilets, and we need not require for the purpose any subsidies. I am sure that the levy of 10 pies as a charge for this purpose would help us to keep these toilets in a clean condition, unlike other public conveniences which are kept in a very bad condition and cannot be used at all. The next improvement that I would like to have in our transport corporation is this. In foreign countries, drivers of transport vehicles and especially drivers of long distance buses have a special mechanical device called auto driver, where all these drivers are asked to take a training course in driving. I may explain that this is a machine where the driver is given an efficiency test to find out how he reacts to sudden circumstances that develop on the road. As a matter of fact, this morning mention was made by some honorable members about the accidents and the drivers were blamed for the accidents. This is not entirely so. Here I may point out that we should remember that we have a number of obstacles on the road like a bullocks suddenly crossed the road. In fact, our people do not follow the traffic rules at all. In our roads, we have so many obstacles and other things, and so I think it is wrong for us to blame the driver alone for all the accidents. I am a driver myself and I have not been involved in any major accident, but it is only because of very careful driving I do. But at the same time, we cannot expect that a public transport driver who has to drive long distances and has some strain also would be so careful. Thank you.